Alright, so in today's video I'm going to talk about how to have all day energy. Okay, so I've got my notes here because what I've done before compared to what I do now is completely different, and I'm going to share with you all the changes I've made in my life so that I have all day energy. I'm not worried about being tired all the time. I'm going to talk about training and recovery, but as it relates to just having energy all day and having the energy to do all the things you want to do and not be lethargic and feel like you're not being present with your kids and you're not being present in your work, and you feel like you could do more at the end of the day, and you have that constant feeling of I could do more if only I had more energy. So I'm going to share with you what I did, and then I'm going to share with you what I do now. Okay, and you can get the insights from this to go ahead and apply to your own life to have more energy naturally without worrying, without focusing on supplements and all these kinds of pills and all that kind of stuff, right? So first thing first, what I used to do. This is what I stopped doing, right? So of course, number one is alcohol, right? I was going out 5 nights a week, every week when I used to live in Thailand, and getting drunk pretty much every night, right? Like I was getting, I'd have like 6, 7 beers in a night. That would be normal for me. And that was my life, And of course, the knock-on effect of that is the next day, you basically lose a day because you're so lethargic, you're so tired, and you have the wrong food cravings, right? Like you're craving like the wrong food, like you're craving like all the junk food, because that's what happens when you raise your cortisol that high every time you drink alcohol. So that's what I was doing. And then also, I was drinking a lot of energy drinks. So coupled with going out all the time, drinking beers and stuff, I would drink a lot of energy drinks as well. So like Red Bull, there's another drink in Thailand. But anyway, like all these energy drinks that of course have lots of sugar in them, and you have a massive crash at the end of it afterwards. So that's not good also. And a lot of entrepreneurs that I talk to, they power themselves through the day drinking energy drinks, kidding themselves that they're actually getting energy from that, but it's actually not happening. But it's just like the energy is very short-lived, right? It's like 1 hour you get energy because you got a glucose influx of glucose, but then you have to crash. So was it really worth it? And what's the toll of that on your body long term? People don't talk about this and they don't think about these things. So what else was I doing? I wrote here, high carb meals at every meal. That's what I was doing, right? And I was just eating and eating and eating lots of carbohydrates at every meal, to the point where after every single meal that I ate, I would have to have some time where I just relax because I was so fucking tired because I was eating all the carbs, right? And I didn't realize that that was a problem because everyone I saw around me was doing the same thing. They were all tired after they ate. And it was just normal, like they're all bloated and tired, and that was just normal. I remember, I'd come downstairs in the house I used to live in Thailand, there would be 8 plates of food there, and then I would just be eating all of it, and all of a sudden, I'd fall asleep for an hour, and that was just normal. That was just normal life to me, right? So that's another thing that I used to do, that I stopped doing. Also, snacking on carb-rich snacks, right? So refined sugar, refined carbohydrates, like, for example, in Thailand, it was fried banana chips. I'd snack on those all day, and I'd be snacking on all this like rice cakes and all this kind of stuff. Just very high carb snacks. And of course, this is spiking insulin, this is making you more tired, this is, you're on that blood sugar roller coaster, which is why you have mood swings and why you have no energy, right? So that's what I was doing, and wondered why I had no energy. And also another thing I was doing was snacking on candy. I was addicted to sugar, so I was snacking on candy all the time, and chocolate and all that kind of stuff. So obviously that's not good, right? Everyone knows that. And then I wasn't working out consistently because I judged all those people that went to the gym. I was like, oh, that guy lives in the gym. That's how he got a six-pack, because he lives in the gym. Of course, he spends like 4 hours a day, every day in the gym. And I don't want to be that guy, therefore I'm not going to do it, right? Easy cop out. And a lot of people do it. I used to do that for 27 years of my life, so I totally understand if that's how you're thinking about it. Oh, I don't want to be a gym guy, And then you're like, you got skinny fat, you got the belly and all that. It's easy to say that about those people, but actually when you become that person, you realize that you don't have to live in the gym. And I'm going to share with you what I started doing, which is my reality now, where I'm talking to you, super high levels of mental clarity every single day, sky high levels of energy. When I train jiu-jitsu, my energy goes down a lot because jiu-jitsu is very tough. It's like a combat sport. I mean, just look at Conor McGregor, right? He's at the elite level of his game, and he still gets fucking really tired after 5 minutes of fighting. Combat sports, that's the ultimate, right? Like, you're going to be fatigued. And even then, I'm doing combat sports every day for 5 days a week, and I'm tired, but I'm still, you know, recovering well, and that's what I'm going to talk about right now. So what did I start doing? So this is what I started doing. Number one, I started working out at least 3 times a week doing strength training. Okay, that's number one. Okay, that's a compulsory thing for all my clients to do that. Okay, at least 3 times a week, strength training, building that muscle. Muscle is the organ of longevity. We need it in our old age, unless we want to have osteoporosis and bone issues and all that kind of stuff, and movement issues. We need to be working our muscles. Okay, number two, I started doing intermittent fasting. Do that every single day, and I've been doing that for the last 5 years, coming on 5 years. And this is one of my secret weapons to stay lean, effortlessly lean, all year round, right? It's super simple and very, very effective, okay? That's what I started doing. And also, I prioritize sleep, okay? Prioritize sleep and recovery. Very, very important, because most people don't know how to rest, myself included. Before, I didn't know how to rest, okay? And there's a lot of protocols around that, but taking care of yourself, putting yourself first. This is another concept of, you know, that I talk about self-love, like loving yourself first. And, you know, everyone else comes after me. So that's literally how I live my life. But that's a mindset that you have to own, because I'm the most important person in my life. No one else is. It's me first, right? So I got to take care of myself. I got to love myself and accept myself. And that's a whole another thing. That's a video in and of itself. That's a long process to get to the point where you actually look in the mirror and you love yourself. That's a lot of work. And it's been my experience that most people don't love themselves. Most people look in the mirror and they judge themselves, like I used to. I still do sometimes. I still judge myself about like my teeth, like my jagged teeth, stuff like that. But you know, it's very important to start accepting the stuff that you don't own about yourself, because otherwise you're going to get triggered when other people talk about it, because you haven't owned it. You're going to get triggered, right? You're like, no, and you try and defend it, but actually it's the truth, but you just haven't owned it. You haven't accepted it. So eating nutrient-dense food, that's another one. It's huge. Like, people don't focus on the food that they eat. Like, the food you eat has a direct influence on the amount of energy you have. Okay, so if you're eating like all the carbohydrates, all the rice, all the pasta, and you're wondering why you have no energy, maybe look to the food that you're eating, because you're eating one set of macros. There's carbohydrates. I'm not demonizing carbs, but I'm just saying, for most people, when they eat very high carbs in every single meal, they have no energy all day. And they have to have an afternoon nap for 2 hours and waste a day. It's like, how much money are you losing if you're in business and you're having a 2-hour nap in the middle of a working day? Okay, there's a lot you're losing there. And if you compound that over the weeks and months, you're losing a lot of money potentially that you could have made if you have higher levels of energy as a result of dialing in your nutrition and understanding these concepts that I'm talking about. Like, for example, getting your B vitamins in, like B12. You can't get B12 from plants, and it's questionable how much you absorb from supplements. This is why I advocate animal nutrition, because when I eat, for example, a ribeye, I'm getting a lot of B12. Okay, I don't have to worry about my energy levels when I eat ribeye. I don't have to worry about energy when I'm eating oysters, right? Like, these kind of foods are very high in nutrients that are going to give you the energy that you need to get through the day and have better health as well, like health markers. Like, my skin is glowing now. Like, you never used to glow like this. Since I changed up my diet, started eating nutrient-dense food. Basically means the food that has the most nutrients that you can absorb in the most bioavailable form. All right, and then the next one is working on the most important tasks. This improved my energy, because before I was just spending my days, 12-hour days, just working on everything, and nothing would really get accomplished until I realized what's really important, like what's important now, W-I-N, what's important now, and work on the most important thing. Like this video, for my working day, this is one of the most important things in my day, right? And it's going to take me 10 minutes and I'm done, right? So it's when you focus your energy, then you are able to have more energy. Like, this stuff energizes me, like doing things that I actually like. And that's another topic for another day, but doing things you like gives you energy, right? When I did stand-up comedy for the first time, that gave me energy. Like, most people perceive that as draining my energy, but actually when I was on stage, that gave me energy. That whole thing gave me energy, because I was in alignment with what I feel like I'm here to do, which is be a better presenter, like be a better communicator. And that's like, I've done videos for 10 years. That's why I can do this in one take. And before, when I started, it wasn't like this, but doing things I like gives me energy. That's my point. And then the last point is great relationships, right? Like, people either drain you or energize you, one of the two. Like, every single person in your life either drains the hell out of you or they energize you. There's no in between. Like, that is that binary, it's that black and white. So assessing that and looking at my relationships, I'm like, all right, Does this person drain me? Like, how do I feel when I'm around this person, right? Because this is all part of energy, right? Like everything is energy. And so you have to be aware of that and see, okay, am I feeling energized here or not? And then take the necessary actions, because you've got to protect your energy at all costs, because that's all we have, right? Like there's a quote in Scarface, one of my favorite movies. He said, all I have in this life is my balls and my word. It's true. And I would add to that my energy. So 3 things. All right, so I will talk to you in the next video. I have to figure out what it's going to be on, but it's going to be on something awesome that can add a lot of value to your life. Hope you found this video helpful, and if you like my style, if you like the vibe, and you understand that, you know, your health's not going to get better without someone helping you, because accountability is like, that is the biggest thing that people are missing, which is why most people read a book about how to lose weight and never do anything, because they don't have accountability, right? And this is the missing piece in the puzzle that most people are missing. So this is why I'm here, to give you the coaching that you need to help you implement these habits. And ultimately, it's about becoming someone different, right? Like, the person you want to be is not the person you are now, and that person does different things to the person you are now. So how do you get to that person? Well, you start doing different things. So how do you start doing different things? You start taking action, but you're not taking action. You know what to do, but you're not taking action. Why is that? It's because you don't have accountability. It's accountability means like someone you don't want to disappoint. So for me, for example, with jiu-jitsu, like I've got a blue belt now. Like, the only way I've got a blue belt is not by watching YouTube videos. It's by going and showing up to class and having someone where I don't want to disappoint the guy, right? My coach. So I'm doing all the things he's teaching me, and I'm showing up every week, and that's why I've got a blue belt. It's very hard to get, right? It takes like 18 months. I got it in 8 months, because I'm training like a crazy man, and I'm held accountable by not only my coach, but my peers, right? So you need to get an environment which has this, like coach accountability and peer accountability, which is what I provide for every single person that comes to me for help, right? Because this is what's going to help you, give you the support and accountability that you need to finally have the hope that you can do this. Like, you can have all day energy, you can get shredded, you can get lean, you can build the muscle, you can do all these things. But you just first of all have to believe it, and then second of all, get the right coach, and then do what they say and get the accountability and support as a result of getting the right coach. And that's going to be your ticket to where you want to be. All right, so I'll talk to you soon. Go to healthmastery.net if you want more help, if you want to watch the presentation I have, or you can go to callwithaaron.net and book your free call, and I'll talk to you soon. See you in the next video. Bye.